So when we talk
let's just agree to disagree.
When we talk about twerking, we have to use this definition.
What? That's too small. What does it say, Martel?
It says dance to hip hop or pop music in a very sensual way, typically by thrusting or shaking the buttocks and hips while in
the gluteus minimus or maximus.
Put that away.
The glutes.
Put that away.
You gotta shake the glutes in order to twerk.
Smushed Sandwich. Let's talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. This is Smushed Sandwich, right? And we have today Miss Sharon, Miss Tiffany. How y'all doing?
What up? What up?
And as always, my dude, King Ryan, over there.
You already know. You already know.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about a few topics, but the first topic I feel like we should get into is that restaurant where. So who was twerking? Put me on. I didn't see it.
So the women were at the restaurant. It was like, you know how in New York City they'll have unlimited brunch. And then people, you know, and then they're playing the music and it's giving you that vibe. And so, you know, you might get up and you know, hit a little something with it. And so the women were twerking. And I guess the owners had come over and told them, all right, we don't do that here. And I guess they sell Henny slushies. So the spirit moved them and they continued to twerk. And the man came out and gave a Shakespeare soliloquy, cussing his patrons out, telling them that they cannot be twerking in this establishment because he made it for Black people to come here and be respected and respectable.
Facts.
Wow.
Oh.
That just lets me know the spirits even be drinking that Henny because they came out was like, oh, we got to get it in because we not here no more. So we just go jump and be these people and let go.
Was the owner white?
No, he's a black guy.
It's a black-owned business.
Oh,
it's a black-owned business.
Because I needed to know the dynamics. It was important.
Black-owned
Okay.
business.
Wow.
I don't know if this was a good topic. Then what? Like, what happened?
Okay, so the question is, do you think it was appropriate for him to be cussing people out in his establishment when the customer is sometimes considered always right? Like,
look, no,
no.
In that case, listen, we're not. This is not a strip club. It's not an establishment where it's okay for you to shake your butt because you got alcohol in your system. It don't matter. There's a time and a place for all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm the consumer and I'm in the store or the restaurant, half of me is looking like, yeah, girl, get it. But then at the other end, it's like, nah, that's not right because who knows on the other side of the restaurant if there's children there, what have you? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be conscientious of the fact that your surroundings or who's around you, because at the same time, like I said, there's a time and place for all that. And as far as with the restaurant owner who came out and gave that speech, a lot of people need some act right at the end of the day, and whoever was doing the twerking, they needed that act right. So I'm not necessarily against that. Chris, go in the house.
Why is he addressing the other patrons and not the women that were twerking again? I'm trying to figure out why did he attack? Because you guys said, well, Tiffany, you mentioned that he attacked the other patrons or just the ones that were twerking.
I think he first was talking about the ones that were twerking, but then talking in general of behaving yourself when you're in a particular establishment.
Okay. And this was a restaurant, a regular restaurant, not with like one of those live DJs that's in the restaurant.
No. It was a DJ, or it was I think it was a DJ, and there was music playing, and the music apparently was at a level that would invoke or incite dancing.
Honestly, I feel like it depends on the level of their twerking, to be honest. Because if there's a live DJ you know, and you have a bottomless brunch situation going on and people are having a good time, I feel like a little bit of dancing is okay. I feel like I would need to see the extent of the twerking. If it was like rated R twerking or if it was like PG-13 type of twerking. I think that
I never knew that there was a difference in twerking.
There's levels.
No, there's definitely a difference.
Period. I'm
There's a
sorry,
There's
difference.
maybe
levels
it's
to the
me.
twerk. There are.
So wait a minute.
There's like leg up on the table twerking.
So you said PG-13. You said PG-13. That's parental guidance 13, right? So as long as, so you mean to tell me a child that's 13, 14 years old that has parental guidance, it's okay for them to twerk as long as their parents is there?
Okay, so let me get in here and vehemently agree with the opinion that's already on the table.
You said PG-13 twerking and rated R.
There is, because you can watch a you can watch a PG-13 movie and there would be some type of twerking in it, right? And then you can watch a rated R movie with an extreme level of twerking with like ass cheeks hanging out, or, you know, just a lot of extraness, jumping on top of the table, whatever it may be, very sexualized, right? Because dancing, period, it, depending on the culture, is not always the sexualized thing. It's really not.
Yeah. And that's the part that I agree with, so here's the thing. I have been to plenty brunches in different cities, and it's like part of the culture is you just get up and like my thing is, you want to have a certain tone in your establishment, then you play Kenny G, smooth jazz, Sade, and then people won't feel incited to do that. But also at the same time, I am not a fan of respectability politics. And it was the speech for me where he said, I created this establishment for Black people so we could come and be excellent. And it's like, well, why can't we be excellent twerking? Y'all, it wasn't no kids there. Like, the culture of brunch is not where you
can't be excellent twerking.
My thing is, there's nothing inherently problematic or wrong with twerking. And I just don't like the idea that Black people are not worthy or not acceptable, or like we have to behave in a certain prim and proper way in order for folks to be respected. I just don't agree with that. And I also don't think that regardless whether you agree with it or whether you don't agree with it, at the end of the day, a restaurant owner does not need to be talking to his patrons like that. That is just completely hostile and problematic.
I disagree.
I'm on the same
that's
line.
fine.
I feel like it's his restaurant, and regardless, if he wants a certain atmosphere in his establishment, that's his prerogative. He has that right to dictate how he wants his establishment to be. That's like, you can't go to Disney World and expect Disney World to turn into what you want it to be, right? Like,
okay, so why play back that ass up at a restaurant and then be mad if people are twerking?
I didn't see the video, so I don't know how it went down, but I do know at the end of the day, if it's his establishment, he has the right to set the rules in his establishment.
I think,
I disagree with that part.
You know, it's funny. I think because it's Black people, I think Black people feels entitled to be able to do certain things in their own kind of establishment because of where we can't do these things at. So because of you having a Black establishment, when it comes to things like twerking, it's more nowadays, twerking seems to be more synonymous with Black people. And it's like, okay, because we're in this Black establishment, I should be able to twerk in this Black establishment because you understand where I'm coming from. And I think at the end of the day, that's wrong, because it's like, look, regardless, there's still a time and a place for things like that. And away from that, we still got to understand where to be, we got to be classy and to just turn off certain behaviors. Certain behaviors you just got to turn off. Twerking is not an everyday, all day, all the time type of activity or type of behavior.
That's true.
Period.
Yeah, but who also says that it's a bad behavior? So I think the issue here
I'm not saying it's a bad behavior, but there's certain things that are after like 10, 12 o'clock midnight, and there's things that's before that. Twerking is definitely not something that's supposed to be on 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Would you twerk
I think
in church?
it depends who you're talking to, because again, why does twerking have to be after night behavior? You know what I mean?
Because it's a sexual act. It's kind of a
sexual
sexual act.
That's the issue. So that's
It's a
the
sexual
issue,
act.
again, that it's
So my whole thing is,
when
if you're in a restaurant or such, in an environment, with your family. That could be your mother, your father, your kids, your grandparents. And then all of a sudden, right next to you, a woman jump on the table and start shaking her ass. You're going to look at her and be like, oh my God, are you serious right now? Because this type of behavior, what you're doing, especially because of who you're with, it's not necessary right now.
But that scenario you just explained is a misrepresentation. Nobody, it's not like it was a family friendly event, and it's not like people are on tables popping. It's not.
Hey, language, because I'm not.
I'm sorry, but
I'm not doing that again.
I'm just trying to be realistic, because it's like you can't exaggerate the scenario and then exaggerate the description of it and say that that's why it's inappropriate. No,
were they at their tables? Like, were they in their own little vicinity amongst each other, just dancing like by their tables, or were they like going into other people's space, twerking near other people's tables? Because I think the setup and the layout of it makes a difference too. Because when I go to brunch with my girls, yeah, we dance. Like, I dance when I'm sitting in my chair. We dancing with each other. We're like, oh, girl, go ahead, girl, and we're egging each other on. But we're enjoying each other. We're not worried about what's happening at the next table. So I think those things make a difference. If they were minding their own business together, dancing with each other, I personally don't really see the big harm in it, unless it was attracting some type of grandiose attention where it's not disrupting other people's experience.
All right,
Sharon, can I ask you a question?
Sharon,
can I ask you a question?
Wait.
Okay, all right, okay.
Because both of y'all seen the video. Me and Sharon didn't see the video.
So can y'all describe what actually happened in the video?
So I haven't seen the video of them actually twerking. And nobody has, like, nothing has come out to say how they were actually dancing and twerking. The only video that's out is his response video.
So you're judging his response without actually knowing the type of twerking that took place.
It doesn't matter to me, because I think that it's highly unlikely that they were on the level of a strip club. I just think that is like super, like, it's just unlikely. And furthermore, if you look at the way the restaurant is set up, it's not like some big space with a ballroom, like dance floor. They were probably more than likely.
Well, I'll let Ryan ask his question, but I'll just say this. Now we're talking to hypotheticals, because we don't know what level of twerking. You can't assume that it was. You can't assume it was PG-13. We don't know.
Sharon, let me ask you this question. When you said you be dancing with your homegirls, outside or at a, what type of establishment where you dancing amongst your table, your party?
Brunch, dinner.
Okay, what brunch or dinner or whatever? What type of dancing are you doing?
Dancing in my chair. And if I feel inspired, I may stand up too. It
depends.
Like you be twerking and all that too?
I mean, not a full extent like a stripper twerk, but
why not?
I do a little something
so
to see.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. Do you do that though? Do you twerk like that, like a stripper or what have you?
No, not in public. No.
Why
Personally,
not?
No.
Why not?
Because I just don't feel the need to. I feel like for me, it would draw in attention that I personally don't want on myself.
And that's why I say maybe that's why that particular restaurant owner decided to, put out that PSA the way he did, because maybe his restaurant was going to come under fire for a particular type of, attention that was going to be given.
No, nobody's restaurant is. Let me tell you that we all from Brooklyn here. Well, I know Martell is not from. Are you guys all from? Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. There is an establishment in Brooklyn that I swore was Black owned because of the people that go there. Come to find out, it was actually a white owned establishment. But a lot of Black people go there because the music is popping, because, we can dance, we can have bottomless brunches and stuff like that. And it's not, the restaurant itself does not have a bad rap because people are dancing. I don't feel like any restaurant is going to get a negative rap for people enjoying themselves and dancing. Now, if there's a lot of fights that broke out at that restaurant, that's a different scenario.
Right. And I would have to co-sign that. Like, I've been to brunch in different cities, and like, I am somebody, I don't have no problem like doing a little light twerk. Like, because I just don't think that it's anybody's role to be policing my body. And my thing is, okay, to y'all's point that this man shouldn't, like that they shouldn't be twerking in his establishment. Great. If he, because there's plenty of places where you wouldn't think to twerk, right? There's plenty of places where it's just not the setting and it's just, it's not the vibe, because you just, nothing sort of invokes or induces that feeling, right? And so my thing is, there's a myriad of like smooth R&B, smooth jazz that you can be playing. But if you're going to play trap music, if you're going to play music where people are drinking, like you have Henny slushies here.
And a live DJ.
I'll just say this.
And a
I've
live
been,
DJ.
I've been to plenty of places where they were playing that type of music, and nobody. I've been so.
Well, maybe the people you was with were boring.
No, it don't gotta be the people.
And I like
all
that.
the people that's in the spot.
Yeah.
They weren't about it. You know what I mean? Like they just understood how to conduct themselves in that particular environment.
Yeah, but why are you police? I just feel like, why police somebody how to conduct themselves? If it's an environment, to me, if it's an environment that has a live DJ, that has a bottomless brunch, that is a setting for, that's a lively atmosphere type of setting, especially if they're playing some type of trap music or even Caribbean music.
Let me ask you, okay,
a lot of
Sharon, where you live at? Where you live at currently? What city? Where you at?
I'm
currently?
in Brooklyn.
You in Brooklyn? Tiffany, you in Brooklyn too?
No.
All right, Sharon. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to? Well, it's not open anymore, but Bronx BBQs that was by Green Acres Mall in well, right outside of Queens, like beginning the parts of Nassau.
I've been to that one, but I know all BBQs are similar. So
yeah.
I know
it's really not. It's really not. It's really not.
No, it really is. And
no, it's really not.
I know that one.
It's really not. It's really not. Okay,
that one is by my old church, so I know that one. Though.
I'm gonna say that Bronx BBQs that was in, it was by Green Acres Mall or whatever, right? You could make the argument it was ratchet. You can make the argument it was ratchet.
Most people it was ratchet, but okay.
Right, all right, fine, whatever. But they used to play everything in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They used to play everything in there, and I used to frequent go to that spot, frequent, and as ratchet as it was, I ain't see nobody twerking there to music. And if there was gonna be a place right now that I can think of that there was gonna be some twerking to in a restaurant, that would have been, and they weren't twerking in there. So, and my whole thing is they even understood, I'm not gonna say they understood, but it's like, well, if they didn't do it in that particular place, I'm guessing there had to have been some understanding that there's a time and a place for certain things.
No, okay, so actually I feel like you just proved a point, well, kind of the point what me and Tiffany was making, because it's not the type of people that's making the twerking, it's the type of atmosphere. At BBQs, when I think of BBQs, I also don't think of twerking at BBQs, because BBQs doesn't have a live DJ. BBQ, I mean, people go to BBQ.
They did, but they did at one point. They did have a live DJ in there.
Okay, well, I just don't see BBQs being the type of place that I personally.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that particular BBQs is different from the Dallas BBQs.
I got a question.
Okay, hold on, but I didn't finish though.
What were you saying? What was your point?
Go ahead.
All right. So I was saying that to me, it depends on the atmosphere. It's not the people, it's the atmosphere. So maybe that particular Black establishment where the twerking was happening, that was an atmosphere where the ladies felt inspired to move. Like that shouldn't be criminalized. Like I don't feel like
it's not that it was criminalized first.
Well,
penalized.
Maybe
though.
that's the dramatic version.
It was, but it was penalized though.
But
right, like it's dancing. To me, it's the way people express that. Some people choose to express themselves, and I don't think that should be looked at as being a Black thing or a negative thing.
But the point that you're making, if that's the case, then that shouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have been the first time that happened. So then it's like either if that wasn't the first time, then I guess clearly the owner got upset because it was happening more than once, or that was the first time and the owner got and then did what he did and said what he said because that wasn't the type of atmosphere.
No, to him, maybe to him, but
he's the owner.
It wasn't like a everyday person that said something.
You can be an owner and still attract a certain type of energy, not even realize you're attracting it. All because he's the owner doesn't mean he gets to set. Okay, scratch that. I feel like if you want to set a specific way that people should act in a restaurant, then don't have certain things there. Don't have the DJ playing trap music. because that already is setting a trap-like type of atmosphere where people get hyped during trap music, especially if there's alcohol that's involved as well. Play some classical, play some jazz, because ain't nobody gonna be twerking the jazz.
I think we should move on, man. Because I mean,
I'm just saying.
I'm about to say, just because I'm having a fight party don't mean I should be able to fight everybody in the party.
yeah, like
These are false equivalencies, and all of these alternate examples that you're providing are not relevant to the situation. It's like, if you know brunch culture, then this is what happens in brunch culture, and yes, it's like
plenty of brunches.
Okay, great. So here's the question I have for y'all, since y'all want to overtalk me. Why do men feel the need to police women's bodies? Because there's no risk of, no, that's exactly what's occurring in this scenario.
No.
And the way he said it, like, there's nothing inherently problematic or not respectable about twerking. It's
right.
like the issue is
about,
people being objectified as a result of it.
You're talking about perspective. Maybe from his point of view. We don't know this man. Maybe he's a devout Christian, a devout Muslim. We don't.
That's his problem, though.
Doubt it.
No. Well, if it's his problem, it's also his restaurant.
Yeah, but you don't. But if you're a Christian that has a restaurant, you can't put your religious views into the restaurant. Like, this is not a church, okay? This is
what are y'all talking about?
Where people are coming to eat and enjoy themselves. What your personal beliefs got to do with the way you run a business?
So you mean to tell me I can open an establishment, and because of you feeling like the behavior is necessary, it don't matter what I think, you should just be able to do what you want?
If it depends on the type of establishment. In a church, no one is going to twerk in a church because they understand that is not the type of atmosphere where that type of dance
there's a lot of recklessness that goes on in church. With the
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this all night. I don't want.
Anyway, next topic.
I'll talk about this all night.
Y'all get me mad.
No, it's not we getting mad. It's just that.
No, I said y'all getting me mad.
Well, this is something we're not gonna see eye to eye, because I just firmly believe that an entrepreneur, a business person, can set the rules of their establishment. All right. So it also said
we getting her mad.
Yeah, like I feel that though. All right, so this
at the end of the day, look, if we had a business, we want the right element around our business so it can strive, it can continue to thrive for the most part. But if any type of element seems to be hurting the business or the brand, then we're gonna speak against it. And I think that could have been what he was speaking against.
Yeah, he's worried about I don't know. I just don't see how that would hurt your business per se, unless it was like I don't know. I just feel like if it's innocent twerking and it's happening every once in a blue, I don't really see how that can hurt one's establishment, unless he's concerned about more white folks. Because the only people I could see that hurting is maybe white folks maybe turned off. I mean, the reality is maybe they may not.
Or an older generation.
And I feel like that could play a role in maybe his viewpoint. Maybe he feels like it will attract a certain type of people, and he wants to expand that attraction to maybe business professionals or, multi-million-dollar folks that may not be okay, that type of behavior.
Right. And it also depends on the type of restaurant it was, because if it was a type of restaurant where it's predominantly Black, then, I mean, white people you're not really focused on or whatever, unless you actually trying to branch out to certain areas where there may be more white people. But if that's not the case, then I don't think you could be focused on white people. Maybe it's just he could have, like, again, we speak in hypotheticals. We don't necessarily know the full dynamics because we didn't see the full video. And for me, I never really heard of like innocent twerking. It's just twerking, period. Because I've seen chicks twerk at a kid's party, and the uproar about that, it's like, what are you doing that at a kid's party? So there's no such thing as innocent twerking. There's a time and a place for that, like I keep saying. So like, would you want, if you had kids or younger siblings, you throwing them a party and all of a sudden some adults started shaking their butt during the party, you're gonna be like, girl, or whatever, what are you doing? Like, this is
But
not the
that's
time
a different setting. That's a child's party.
And I think that's probably how that particular individual took that situation, possibly.
So there's a difference because you're not going to be playing trap music at a child's party either. You should be
There's a lot of people that does that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that do that. There's a lot of people that do that.
Well, then, I don't know.
I think that the conversation goes literally left every time we try to bring in an alternate scenario in which you would have twerked. For me, the reason why it's like seeing him deliver that speech, he was heated, he was passionate, and he was just basically saying like, I worked to create this establishment so Black people can have a place to be upscale and to be respectable, and y'all are twerking, y'all are defiling what I've created. And I'm just like, while that's not, okay, I'm not going to say it's absurd. I think that as a people, we get to evolve to a place where we see people like somebody's twerking that like that's just having a little good, clean fun. And for me as a parent, if my kid is seeing somebody twerk, I'm just like, you know, if my kid is at the restaurant and first of all, we at our table, we not worried about looking at them twerk. And then second of all, I just don't want I don't think that twerking is inherently sexual, and I don't think that it's inherently problematic. I really don't. And I think that it only becomes sexualized when people objectify somebody because they're twerking. Like, I don't think that it's just inherently.
A chick bending over all the way and shaking her where she's.
But we don't know that's what happened though.
No, we're just talking about the
That's
twerking
twerking.
factor. We're just talking about the twerking factor. We're talking about
that's
the twerking
twerking.
factor. That's twerking.
No, but not everybody twerks. I think honestly, to form a real proper opinion, seeing how these women were twerking and for the length of time, I think that
Sharon. No. See, okay, Sharon, look. This is Sharon. What do you know of when it comes to twerking, right? How is it normally? What does it look like?
I mean, it doesn't always have to be this whole production of bending over with your hands.
Sharon. I'm just asking you a simple question.
Okay.
Normally, when you see twerking, how does it look?
He coming at Sharon crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
No.
That's the question. I want to ask the question.
All right, y'all are trying to reframe and redefine what twerking is.
No. I'm not.
No, I just asked the question.
I'm educating you on it's not always just one way that you're imagining.
Then it's not twerking.
Okay, so y'all gonna school me on? Okay, all right.
No,
I guarantee y'all don't twerk. Y'all haven't been to a twerk class. Y'all don't.
Have either of y'all ever twerked before? So how would you really understand?
I know the definition of twerking. They actually
What is it?
They actually put the definition of twerking in the dictionary.
Okay, what is it?
You know what? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna share it.
No.
I'm going to pull it up.
Don't pull it up because then that doesn't count. You have to say it from.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
No, the definition. It has to come off your brain and your heart, or else it doesn't count.
No, the definition would be something specific in the dictionary. What the definition is? That he's going to pull the dictionary. He's going to pull the definition out of the dictionary.
Okay, so out of this conversation, there's 4 of us. How many off the top of your head know the Urban Dictionary or Merriam-Webster's definition of twerking? None of us do. Let's just be realistic. So
that's not. Wait. But that's not the point.
It is the point.
No. But you're saying that oh, maybe they're not really twerking. Maybe they're not doing it in the same way. Then they're not really twerking. They're dancing. But if they're actually twerking, based on the definition.
No, because what I'm saying is nobody goes and looks up the definition of twerking in the dictionary and says, okay, twerking is bending down at 90 degrees, touching the floor and gyrating one's behind. No, that is like, nobody looks at the definition.
He went to the dictionary. He's on Google. He's on the
1820s. It dates back to the 1820s. This shit ain't nothing new.
Whatever. I thought we were switching topics because we ain't getting nowhere with this one.
Yes, we are.
We're
debating. That's what it is.
So when we talk
let's just agree to disagree.
When we talk about twerking, we have to use this definition.
What? That's too small. What does it say, Martel?
It says
To
dance
a
to hip hop or pop music
in
in a very sensual way, typically by thrusting or shaking the buttocks and hips while in
the gluteus
over
minimus
position.
or maximus.
Put that away.
The
Put
glutes.
that away.
You gotta shake the glutes in order to twerk. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Let me restate my point. My point is that we cannot use that as like the standard definition of twerking or our standard understanding of twerking in this conversation because nobody went and Googled twerking and said, okay, I'm going to go to this restaurant and do this thing.
That doesn't negate if they were moving in that motion in the restaurant.
Okay, because it's a difference between I'm sitting in my seat and
right, exactly.
And that's twerking.
That's not twerking.
Yes,
but that's probably what they were doing, though.
Right.
That is like it's a 70% chance that that's what they were doing.
I said it's a 70% shit without actually seeing the video of what they were doing.
No one knows. I mean,
you
the
can't
reality
say
is,
that.
and that's not
Oh my God.
The reality is no one knows how they were twerking and the extent. And that's why I had said to really paint a full or to give a full opinion, I have to see the scenario from beginning to end.
Martel, my dude, you have to post this video, my dude.
Yo.
This has to get posted. This is the funniest thing ever. I love it. This is hilarious.
I don't mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but this goes back to the other conversation I think Ryan was having about people taking accountability. Because it seems as if you guys are not accepting the fact that these women or whoever should take accountability for dancing inappropriately in a setting where the owner feels like they stepped over the bounds of what is appropriate. Y'all saying that that's not his prerogative in his own establishment.
And what would taking accountability look like, and why is that the solution?
Taking accountability is, like Ryan said earlier, is understanding that there's a time and a place for certain things. And perhaps the atmosphere wasn't the time to do that. Now, like you said, if they, I highly doubt they was just going like this in their chair. I highly doubt that.
What you doing is different than me being like, like that's different.
Right.
I highly doubt that man got upset if they was doing that in their chair. Like,
you don't know.
What kind of past? For all we know, that man, he could be putting his own personal viewpoints and what's the word I'm looking for? Projecting it onto these women. Like we don't, and that's the reality. That's the because we don't know if he's putting his own personal opinion and telling these women, oh, well, maybe you really should be acting more woman-like or whatever. For all you know, that's probably really what he could have been trying to say and instead phrase it in another way. We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, next topic.
Anything is possible, yo.
All right. Well, I want to know if y'all heard about this movie.
Damn. The Trouble. It's called The Trouble with Being Born.
I haven't heard of it.
No, me neither. What is it about?
I'm about to share it with y'all. Hold up.
Can a nigga get a table then? No, I'm sorry.
Huh?
No,
see, Ryan, you like to act up. You love to act up.
All right. So, yeah, Ryan is a fool. So Ellie is an android program with memories that mean everything to her owner, but nothing to her. The story of a machine and the ghosts we all carry within us. So anyway, they didn't really describe the movie. The movie is, there's some guy who has a 12-year-old replica of his daughter, right? It's an android. And what I heard about the movie, he has a sexual relationship with this android. I don't know why this keeps.
Oh God, this android talk.
Yeah, I don't know why this keeps coming up.
But wait.
Yeah.
I just want to say, you sent me a video that was That was a trailer that you sent me?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize that's what it was. I thought it was a short film. And I didn't get what it was saying, but okay.
Androids is taking over the world.
I rebuke that statement.
So, I mean, to me, it's not really about the Android thing. I think it's the controversy that.
I rebuke you.
Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm just messing with Sharon a little bit. Go ahead.
Oh, it's the controversy of, do we think it's all right for an artist to do a movie like this when it's actually talking about pedophilia in a way? Or is it really pedophilia because it's an android? So, like, people are criticizing and trying to boycott this movie because they feel like it promotes pedophilia.
Can you?
I'm
sorry. Before we go on, can you explain to me, because I really missed the step?
Yeah, I didn't see the movie or the video that you sent to her, that link that you sent to her, that trailer. So it's hard to kind of like jump in that without us really just putting our personal thoughts on the whole the pedophilia portion of it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It doesn't really go into that in the trailer.
I'm just going off of what you're saying right now. I'm just going off what you're saying right now.
I took the extra step to actually look at like the synopsis of the movie.
Right. Mm-hmm. And when I read that, when I Googled it, it was like this whole campaign to actually boycott this movie because people are like, why does this movie exist? Like, this promotes pedophilia.
So okay, so let's just I get this straight. So the issue is that it's because he's in love with this droid that's supposed to mimic his daughter. And how old is the child?
12.
Oh, so he's in love. Oh, this is just sick on all levels. So he's in love with the robot. That's the first problem. The second problem is he's in love with this robot that's supposed to be 12. What did you say? 12 years old.
Yeah.
And the third issue is that not only is she 12 years old, but she's supposed to mimic his daughter.
Supposedly. Yeah.
That's just weird.
Some thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. So we can all agree that it's weird, right?
Big time.
Movie be boycotted.
Yeah.
And here's my thing.
Just hearing the plot of the movie, I don't even think I want to watch it.
Like right. Look at this. This is the.
So you've been talking about that. So you've known about this for a really long time, haven't you?
I seen it a while ago, and now I think it's about to come out next month or something like that. So
my thing is this: if you didn't already have thoughts of pedophilia, this movie is, you're not going to be, one, attracted to watching this movie, and two, you're not going to have thoughts of pedophilia incited in you that are going to now engage in.
Right, like certain things, even if I see it once, I'm not going to want to see it again. Like,
right,
it's going to infuriate me. Like I remember when I seen Birth of a Nation. Like, I only seen it once. I'm not watching that again.
The first one or the Nate Parker one?
No, the Nate Parker one. Like, I'm not watching that again. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So, like, movies of things of nature like pedophilia, certain things is just so strong. It's just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Especially for one, if you don't only have to have kids, you can have younger siblings or whatever, or you don't even have to have neither one. You could just have a brain and just know what's right and what's wrong, and just know, you know what, this right here is just off. Like, I want nothing to do with this. This needs to just be out of here. I'm done with this.
All right. But should the movie be able to? Should people be able to go and watch this movie? That's the only thing I want to hear. Like,
people have their own right. Like, they could, I mean, we live in a land where people have a choice.
What do you think, Sharon?
I would watch the movie. To be honest, I will watch it because I'm curious. Like, I like weird types of movies. Whatever. We ain't even gonna get into that. But I will say that
I'm gonna leave that alone.
It's an interesting. What you say, right? I forgot we on a public YouTube channel. But anyway,
we good.
The point is, I would watch it because I'm curious to see how this plays out. Because there's a lot of topics that are controversial that are still, you know, out and people are not boycotting. Look at slavery. Like slavery is very triggering for a lot of people. And look how many movies there are about slavery. So that's kind of like saying, there shouldn't be any movies about slavery then, if that's the case, you know? So I feel like the movie can still come out.
But don't
maybe be rated R, so certain types of people shouldn't, you know, watch it.
But how much, I mean, even when we even talk about racism movies, I mean, regardless, I mean, how often do you watch, just because they put them out, how often do you watch all of them?
See, here's my thing. I don't keep,
because it's
I don't think that there's a comparison between pedophilia and
I didn't want it to be that way. I didn't want it to be that way. I was just like, you know, even though it's just the same as you put it out so much, and you, after just the first time, it's just like, you don't really need to do this a second or third time.
Yeah, but also I think that the question for me is really about artistic freedom, because like, what kind of sick mind did you have that you wanted to create this? And it's like, there's a lid for every pot. There's going to be always somebody who wants to watch this, but it's like, how far can artistic freedom really go? Because I just think that that's a little bit, I mean, I agree with Sharon's point that I would kind of be curious, but I don't personally think that it's something that I could stomach, because it's just like, I have such love and adoration for children. Like, children are my weak spot. And so what kind of sick mind even
I'm with you with that.
Formulate something like this?
I'm with you.
I think that's partly why I actually wanted to see it. Maybe because I like psychology, right? I really love psychology and seeing how people's minds work. And I also found it interesting. I think, Martell, you said it was a woman, right, that created this film, which makes it. Well, I'm just like, well, where was her mind? Was she sexually abused? Because I can't really see what would draw someone to want to put out this content unless they've had a personal experience with it and now want to shed light on the situation. Maybe. I don't know. But
I mean, the only thing about what you're saying, which I agree, because it's like, a lot of the sick minds make the greatest movies, but it's like certain movies, it's like, yeah, you know what? That I don't really want to do, because again, it's just like, certain things just, you know, infuriates me or whatever. Just like Tiffany, like you said, kids are your weak point, and I feel like for all of us adults, that should just be our weak point when it comes to the youngins. You know what I mean? Because their life is just so precious, and it's they you know, it's so much innocence in kids. They don't know what's going on. We do as adults, and it's like we supposed to be protecting them. So it's like, to see certain movies where it's like youngins are getting taken advantage of or what have you, I don't want to see that more than once.
Well, would you see it once though? Because it only takes one.
Like I said, or whatever. It's like, to that movie that we're talking about right now, I don't want to see that.
Oh, you don't want to see it at all?
Voluntarily.
Well,
I wouldn't go into a movie knowing that this is the plot of the movie.
Well, I'll say this. You've seen movies like this before, right?
We have, but it wasn't necessarily like the immediate plot of the movie. It might have been a part of the movie. And even at that, it's like, okay, you know what? Nah, this is just crazy. After a while,
I think the message of the movie is like, I think Sharon or Tiffany was saying, to shed light on this, because we keep seeing these movies and we're trying to get to the problem so it can be solved, right? But problems still persist. So it's like, we can't just say, oh, I hate that, and shove it into the back of our mind like it's not happening. Like the world is not a horrible place in some points.
So you absolutely right about that. And I think instead of, and I don't want to necessarily critique the person's artistic, you know, form, but if, like, let's say we're doing a documentary on the topic, that's something a little different, because that's immediate light on the problem that we're having in our country, as opposed to just making a artistic view and creating a movie out of it, and then for us to speculate that this is probably what the movie is about.
Yeah, I think
more palatable.
Because I mean, here's my thing. I think that, like, realistically, how much of an impact and shift will you have in the culture through making like a fiction movie, as opposed to what Ryan said is as a like, I think that's a little bit, I mean, respectfully, I think it's a little bit arrogant to think that you're really going to make a shift in the culture. But at the same time, you saying that it's social commentary makes me kind of want to watch it and see what their approach was.
Yo,
Because
Martel.
yeah, go ahead.
Remember we was talking about slavery and racism the other day, and we was like, all the movies we see, it's like Black people's origins seem to just be only about slavery. That's where we began. They don't never really show a movie about beforehand, because it's like we didn't just originate from slavery. We originated beforehand. They don't make movies beforehand. You know what I'm saying? They don't even really make documentaries before that. They just show movies depicting that we was originated from slavery.
Point.
Which is where it's like it gets frustrating seeing it, because this is not what this. It's like, hold on, we're not showing where we originated, how things landed for us going forward, and then where we are now. It seemed to just be slave movies. Like people just want to compensate off of the same type of narrative, and that's really false, because that's not what it is.
That's a good point about Black culture and slavery. I don't know if you said that because you want to pivot from this conversation.
No, but see, no, it's not to say pivot from it, because even slavery, it pisses me off too when seeing it.
Yeah, it's
the same thing. It pisses me off seeing slavery movies as well as pedophilia movies. Now, if we're watching a movie where it's just like it's movies about one thing and then pedophilia is in there, it's like, well, that's something that's going on in this country. So it's not to say, well, we're just making a movie based off of pedophilia, because again, it's just making it seem as if like, are you trying to profit off of it, or are you talking about the issue that we're having in this country? And if it is you talking about the issue that we're having in this country, why not actually do a movie where we are having a problem in this country with this situation that's going on?
Right, like a documentary showing real life situations as opposed to creating an entertainment type of situation out of it.
Yeah, but artists supposed to make you feel. Like art is supposed to be subjective and make you feel so that people can talk about it and have the conversation. The other day,
but not everything they do is plausible. You know what I'm saying? Not everything they do is you're gonna agree with. Some things them as artists, they understand certain things they put out is gonna get ridiculed. Other things they put out, it might be accepted. So the art form, it comes in different forms. So it's like they got to take a hit for, just as if they get appreciated for what they do that everybody agree with. They got to take a hit for what everybody don't agree with.
No, but my point is, as an artist, you got to be willing to take the applause and the criticism.
Correct.
Because the point of your art is to have conversation, to evoke conversation, to make people think, right?
Right.
The other day, I'm driving, right? And they said on the news that police found this guy running down the street in his underwear screaming.
Right.
Right. So they like, what the hell's going on? Come to find out, when they actually, talked to him, he had escaped somewhere. This is happening in New York. He had escaped a house where 26 other people were being held captive.
Wow.
All naked.
Right.
They were about to be sold into the sex trafficking market. Right.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a little bit different than pedophilia, but it's still about sex.
I see what you're channeling.
But see, here's the thing. Ultimately, this artist is already, so if indeed she wants it to be social commentary, she wants people to be like really not just having conversation about that topic, but about art in general, she has already accomplished her goal. So I think that there's some merit to it in reality.
Yeah, we're talking about it. That's what she
right.
could have been her goal. We're talking about it.
Hasn't even dropped it. I'm curious. I mean, I hope she does do some interviews after this gets put out, because I'm very curious to know what would spark her interest in this topic to the point of putting out a movie on it. It's different. That's for sure. That's a very different topic. Yeah.
All right. So I guess we can move on from that. I think we all feel like the movie should exist, but maybe it's not something you want to see multiple times. You just want to.
No, it's just like that. What is it? That movie For Color Girls? I only seen half of that movie. I will never look at that movie again.
Really?
I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I hate it. And I'll tell you why, because that's actually my favorite book. And I think that everything Tyler Perry touches, he takes and he turns it to trash. He is just
The only thing I like that he did, I like the what was it? The very first movie he did. The one where who was in it? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I thought that was cool. And Daddy's Girls. I like that.
I love Daddy's Girls. So
Daddy's Girls. And
hey, Tiffany, do you realize that a lot of black men don't like Tyler Perry movies?
Why is that?
I know why, because they think that he always vilifies black men. And,
Yep.
I get that, but I think my thing is, here's my thought about Tyler Perry, and I think that Tyler Perry has done amazing things for the culture that you cannot take away from him. He employs so many black people. He has like made black movies viable, and he's moved the industry forward because so many people have gone out in such great numbers for his movies. But I think like he's where it's like where you don't invest in your learning, and that goes wrong because he's still on the Chitlin circuit. And it's like you have this big old, there's nothing wrong inherently with the Chitlin circuit, but it's just like you can improve the quality of your writing. You can improve the quality of your production. Like,
and I think that's one of the biggest issues. I think that's one of the biggest issues that people have with him is when you first started out, I understand, like you said, I agree. When you first started out, the Chitlin circuit, I agree. At first, okay, fine. But now it's like, yo, everybody is, you know what I mean? Your name is on everyone's tongue. Everyone is buying your plays or going to see your shows, whatever the case is. It's like, now, when are you going to kind of step out the box and do a little bit more? It's
he tried.
Huh?
Remember that movie, Alex Cross?
That was on a different book. That was based on a book. And I thought that movie was decent.
It didn't do good numbers.
It didn't because that's not what people knew Tyler Perry for.
But has he taken a writing class? Has he invested a little bit more in his production? It's like, okay, bro, you got all that.
But I'm agreeing with you with the point of like, he didn't do a little bit more. And it's like, okay, you showed, you became successful off of the Chitlin circuit. Now can we see a little bit more from you? It's like a lot of people even make the argument of like, what's his name? Denzel Washington, say he don't show enough range. As far as respected as he is as an actor, he hasn't shown enough range. He only done
who is saying this? Who?
I disagree with that.
I'm putting cases on all.
Training Day, Preacher's Wife, the guy he played in Fences. Like, no, he has.
But see, if you look at a lot of Denzel Washington movies, for the most part, it seems to be just the same person you see in interviews with Denzel Washington, the same person, the same type of person that you see him play in these movies is who you see when, like, if he do an interview or whatever. It's like,
I disagree.
Is this like a valid criticism?
I'm only open to the conversation of what I heard people say about him. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I just hear what's being said, and I'm like, okay, I see what's being said. And I think what's messed up with acting now is they feel like being, and I think that's what a lot of black people is against, where they feel like the only way for you to show range is to put on a dress. And it's like, hold up, you have other ways of showing range, you know, because you got a lot of black, you got a lot
That's
of
comedic actors.
Wait a minute, brother. What happened?
Hold up, and I'm like,
it's a true point that he's making.
You got a lot of actors that, you know, been in
put on a dress.
You got a lot
Martin Lawrence, Big Mama's House.
You got a lot of actors that, you know, they done ran through, like they did horror movies, they did action movies, they did comedy movies, they did them like what do you call them, romantic comedy movies or whatever, or drama. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
maybe he's just not good at doing those other things.
And listen, and I'm not throwing shots at him. I enjoyed what I've seen him in. I'm not against it.
I just feel like there's a lot of pressure to have a broad range, but why? Like, if somebody's good in a particular genre, why do they have to venture out?
Because I think wait. Are we talking about Denzel?
Well, both. Even with Denzel, let's say people, you know, from what you guys expressed, they're saying Denzel he doesn't have a broad range. But it's like, if he's good playing this particular role, then let it be. It's like somebody like if you're a teacher, because you're a teacher and you need to have a range in your skills, you should now be good at interior
Like you're not a great teacher because you're only
like,
good at teaching math.
What happened?
Like they say, like you're a great math teacher, but you're not a great teacher because you only teach math class. Like you haven't
Right,
teach
exactly. Like I feel like a math teacher is a math teacher and may not be good at teaching science. Like I feel like it's okay for people to have a specialty. That is not a bad thing. And I think that there's a lot of pressure in Hollywood to, have this range of skills of acting. Why?
And I think that's mostly for Black people, Black actors, really, because I don't think it's really discussed like that when it's white actors. I think it's mostly for Black actors, and I think that's mostly coming from the Black culture that's doing that to Black actors. Like,
right, but my thing is, there's no validity to, like, he played Malcolm X, he played in Remember the Titans, he played, Preachers, like
Glory.
We got to be honest.
But those
Story.
But those are all kind of like the same type of role, like a serious role.
Not at all.
So basically, you're saying that he has not played a comedic, and it's true. I don't think I've ever seen Denzel in like a comedy type of role. Like I don't see Denzel as being a funny. He's not a Chris Rock.
I'm not saying he's supposed to, and I'm not saying he's supposed to. I'm not even saying that I disagree. I'm not even saying I agree with whatever, critiques he might get about not showing range. I loved what he's done. You know what I mean? I don't even really think I've seen a movie I don't even really think I've seen a movie Denzel Washington been in where I say, I didn't like this movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this too. The Black people who feel that way about Denzel, because he hasn't been in a comedy role, why Black folks gotta be shucking and jiving? Why they gotta be funny? Why can't they be a dramatic actor?
Right. Like why can't they have this? But we all in our careers have our specialties, right? So as an actor, why can't you have your specialty as well?
I just think that's just another reason to knock a person, especially with Black people.
Exactly.
Black people find a way to
like
block
that's what's happening with Tyler Perry too. Like I get it. Yeah. A lot of Tyler Perry's films are low budget. I'm a Tyler Perry fan. I love his.
It's not just that it's low budget. It's kind of the same type of premise in a way. With
and it's always over the top.
Yeah, it's
his movies are very predictable, and people get tired of that. But he also gets a lot of critique.
Look at his shows on TV right now. It's the same type of premise. Like, really though, the same shit.
That's what's working though.
It's what's made him billions of dollars and has allowed him now to build this.
But check it. Like for me, and this is just me. I've grown into a particular place where certain movies or certain type of things I just no longer want to see. Like A Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. I don't even look at those movies anymore. I'm just tired of it. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know what happens. We derive. I won't say derive, but we come from that situation. We know it all too well. I don't want for where Black people's only known for this. Why can't we just be doing something else? And when I see a lot of Tyler Perry, his shows or whatever right now, it's almost the same thing. Like he got Sisters. What's the other joint he got out right now? The show he got out right now.
Haves and Have-Nots.
Haves and Have-Nots. The Pains.
The Oval. Doesn't he do the Oval too?
It's like, you know what's funny about all of them? Unnecessary dialogue with all of them. Unnecessary dialogue.
Unbelievable. Like my thing is he's shown no growth. He has been one note. Like at this point, we've known Tyler Perry for 15, 16, 17 years, and he doing the same thing. It's like y'all still laughing at that? Y'all still
same type of issue.
I'm not even a Tyler Perry fan.
I'm celebrating the fact of this Black man is a billionaire. He's doing great things. I applaud him. Let's give him his flowers while he's here. Let's not wait for him to pass to give him his flowers. I'm with that or whatever. Let's give it to him. But I'm just saying, as a consumer or the viewer, it's like, can we not do a little something different? That's all I'm saying.
All right, but this is the only thing I'll say. You don't watch Batman.
Like I just feel like other film directors.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like other film directors have their type of film, and nobody's really getting on them like that. So
Yeah, like Martin Scorsese, he makes a lot of gangster movies. Nobody.
That's
Like
different.
right,
Took
people
his
make
face
movies
shit.
that are within their
Martin Scorsese
specialty.
done took his for his shit. Martin Scorsese, what's the
Ooh,
dude that
no.
did Desperados and
Quentin
Kill Bill, all
Tarantino.
that? He took his.
What's the name of
his
that
shit.
new director too? That did Get Out.
Peele.
Key and Peele.
But see,
and
let
he
me
put
tell
out
you,
another-
no. The reason why we can't compare the two is because these people didn't first start putting us out movies that they did in their backyard or in their house. And like, you know what I mean? Like, my thing is, Tyler Perry is doing the same quality of production that he did.
I disagree. I disagree.
It's that bad.
Like the script.
It's not like
Now,
we're watching.
you're exaggerating.
It's
We're
not.
not watching
It's
plays
not
on the
an
big
exaggeration. It's true.
No, I don't think his movies are that.
I'm not even a
No,
Tyler
we
Perry
good.
fan.
All
I'm
right,
like,
hold
you're
up. Let me ask you a
exaggerating.
question. Let me ask you a question.
He
Let me ask
has
you-
had some.
Yo, Martel, hold up. You said you're a fan of Tyler Perry, right?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
No, I'm the only
Sharon.
fan here. Clearly,
No. Hold up. Okay, Sharon. Have you watched House of Pain?
no,
You never watched House of Pain?
no. That's a TV show, right?
Right.
No, I haven't.
All right, do me a favor. If when you get the chance after we do this video, look at when House of Pain first came on, right? Like his first 7, 8 seasons, whatever the case is, so, until it got rebooted and it came back on. The way how it is right now, compared to the shows that he got on right now, it's the same thing. The way how he got it produced, everything. The
Like
same.
I feel like so. Like look at Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy is a show that has been on for years and has literally been the same.
No, it's not.
All right.
Yes, it
I
is.
disagree.
I never watched
disagree.
I never
What's
watched Grey's
different?
Anatomy,
Well,
so I'm not even going to touch base on that. I'm not going to touch base on that. I never watched Grey's Anatomy.
I have watched it all 20-something, like 19, whatever.
What's
Yeah, you
different?
feel like it's grown as a show, or
What's
it's been
different?
the same plot?
Absolutely.
Usually, but if you look at it, right?
Wait, yo. I want to ask differently. What's different?
So what's different is that the quality of the plot and the storylines have developed. Like
No. But I'm saying, like, as far as the crux of the show.
yes, I was saying that you didn't let me finish.
My bad.
First, it was very soap opera-y, and it was mostly focused on the relationships, like the almost ancestral relationships of everybody who worked at the hospital. Now they take a lot of social justice approaches. First of all, Debbie Allen is the main director, and she's, I think, also one of the producers. And so
Yes, okay.
she's breathed like a new life into it. And I mean, there's a lot of equity related conversations. First of all, like most of the main characters who initially started off are gone, and that necessitates completely different storylines. So it just has a completely different aura and vibe to it. It's grown, it's demonstrated growth, and it's incremental. I don't want to see a completely
I'm
different
sorry.
show.
You didn't say anything that showed me a difference between. Like,
It's a show about drama and people relationships in relation to the hospital, right? Isn't that
what I said before, it was more soap opera-ish, and it was just like all salacious about but now it's like deeper topics, more meaningful, related to like the healthcare industrial complex and how it needs to be resolved, and there's social justice storylines interwoven and dialogue, and like it's conversations about mental health. I think that it's just grown tremendously. But also, you don't want to be watching a completely different show if it wasn't broken.
Right.
Broken in the beginning.
That's what I feel too. So I feel like it's hard. You can't really expect a show to be different throughout the years. Like when you think of shows like Scandal was around for a few seasons. It was the same story plot throughout all the years it's been around. Same thing with How to Get Away with Murder. I don't know if you guys watched that show.
I only watched like the first 2 episodes, but it was a great show.
I love that show.
But I couldn't get into it because I was so hooked on Scandal.
Scandal was the show. But as you can see, it had the same storyline, even though the characters, changed and things happened. It was the same storyline. But
okay, hold up. All right. See, like with Scandal lasted as long as it did because it was around Olivia Pope or whatever the case is. But it had other different things going on around her as well, which made it more interesting. That's why that's what kept us hooked onto it. But then you had other shows that kind of went away from certain things that got you hooked. You ever watch the show The Game that used to come on BET?
Oh yeah. Oh god, that was a long time
Yes,
ago.
I
Yeah,
agree with you. I agree with exactly what you're about to say, Ryan.
The show, the first 3 seasons, it was surrounding the actual game of football. Once it hit the 4th season, it went completely away from it, which made it to the point it was less appetizing to watch the show. What initially grabbed you on the show, they went away from it. They went completely away from it.
Bro, you are kind of proving mine and Sharon's point. Is
right.
Too far. You can't go too far.
You can't go too far from what.
But my whole thing is,
you have to grow, though. You have to grow.
But let me say this. But I'm saying this, right? You said we can't go too far, right? Absolutely, we can't go too far. But we initially started talking about Tyler Perry, whatever, right? He stayed in the same premise. He didn't try to go off. So my whole thing is this.
Because it works.
Hold up, wait. It didn't necessarily work. It didn't necessarily work because you still got people like them. Try a little bit different. You don't gotta go far off.
But the numbers
far off. But we just said I actually thought that was a decent movie, and he didn't try to go even further on after that. He didn't try to go on further after that.
Bruh.
This man has how many shows out? You trying to say all these shows are the same?
Yes.
No, they agree.
I agree. The Browns, House of Pain.
No, they are not.
It's like the same type of thing.
No, they're not.
Wait.
The Oval is very different from Sisters.
I'm not a fan.
It's not the same.
I'm not a fan. So Sharon, name like 5 of his shows.
Well, I'm more into his movies than his shows.
But
But one of the shows I watch now is Sisters. Okay. And I've seen snippets of The Oval. The Oval is a different premise and plot from Sisters.
But you know what all of them have? You know what all of them have? You know what all of them pretty much have as far as all of them have in comparison? They all have unnecessary dialogue. All of them. Unnecessary dialogue.
No.
It's like, at times when you feel like, okay, it's time to go to commercial. It's like they still talking unnecessary shit. It's like,
no, I don't agree. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that as a watcher of his shows currently. Because Ryan, as far as I'm concerned, you probably don't watch the show.
Listen, my girl watched Sisters. My girl watched Sisters. Okay. And she knows of the pains. She's seen Greenleaf. I don't know if Greenleaf is produced by
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay,
that's Ava DuVernay.
Okay, I didn't want to throw that on.
It ain't either one, but it ain't Tyler.
Oh, we can talk about her too, because she does the same types of, like, to me too, Ava DuVernay does similar types of, she has a style. Like, I feel like
I don't see what's wrong with that though. What's wrong with that?
She has a style, but I think it's high quality. My issue is, like, for me, here's my thing with Tyler. Let me be very clear about Tyler Perry. It's one note, it's one dimensional, it's unbelievable, it's low budget.
Wow.
All of this wealth. Wow. Ava DuVernay.
Why are you dragging this man?
It's stylistic.
No, it's not to drag him. It's really not.
Nah, y'all really dragging this man.
He's contributing so much.
It's actually putting respect on him. It's actually putting respect on him. Because
that's
he's doing
respect.
work. We
Please don't respect me, bro.
All right,
but you can also critique somebody's art. Like, I said that he's done so much for the culture.
That don't necessarily mean you throwing dirt on him. I'm not throwing dirt on him. I appreciate the fact that he's putting work out here.
I just feel like it sounds more to me, it's not so much his range. I think the problem is his quality of what he's putting out.
For me, that's the issue.
Hold up. Martell, Martell effing up right now. He effing up right now. Oh. You said we throwing dirt on him because we critiquing him? My dude, we critique certain things all the time that we are fans of. We're not throwing dirt on them. It's just like, look, just because I'm a fan of yours don't mean I gotta agree with everything that you do.
All right, but look. Honestly, I would have to like rewatch this to hear what you said. But I know specifically Tiffany was like, he's low budget.
It's the quality.
Circuit. The production.
It's the truth, though. If you see where it seems as if where he's going, it's the same demographic he's targeting.
I hear you, but she literally said the production quality has not improved.
It hasn't.
Production quality.
I can give you a concrete example.
No. I think from the
Yeah.
early 2000s, his production has definitely, like, if you look at
Word.
his old, like, first,
Oh
second
shit, this dude.
skits, it definitely doesn't look like the recent movies he come out with. Maybe it doesn't look like other films, like Ava DuVernay's
I done
work.
made him curse. Yo, you better not edit that, yo.
Dude.
I done made him
Dude.
curse on the
Who
video.
cursed?
You better not edit that.
Yo, I'm dead. This dude.
With his
I
pipe.
done made him curse on the video. You better not edit that. Anyway, exactly.
Y'all having a whole little side moment, and me and
Yeah, because
conversation.
This
not
dude has
understand
a.
what's so funny.
Show the
No,
pipe,
it's only
bro.
because
Show
I had
the
a
pipe.
pipe in the video. That's it.
I
That's
thought
all
I
it
didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah. It's
shit
really
was-
not, but I mean, me and him kind of vibe off a
I
different
guess
thing.
Nah, that shit is
Exactly.
random. Like that's random.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly.
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Finish your point. My bad.
I was done. I don't know who was talking, but yeah, I think I understand the point. It's just the quality. It's his quality. Because if he was putting out Ava DuVernay type of content, I don't think we would have this discussion if his films were all similar.
But also, I think he wouldn't be able to do it at the frequency and at the amount if
Right.
he was able to do it.
But it's
So he
the
puts
point-
out
it's an
massive
exchange.
amounts of
It's an
content.
exchange.
But Tiffany, I mean, I'm sorry, Sharon, the point that he made as far as with like Martin Scorsese or what's the dude that did Kill Bill?
And
Quentin
Tarantino.
Tarantino. Yeah.
He's gotten judged for the things that he's done. Even though he's done great movies, he still got ridiculed for certain premise that he has in movies with a lot of the characters saying nigga, white men saying nigga and all that other shit. Even though the movie's been great, he's gotten ridiculed or whatever. So it's not just only one-sided. All I'm saying at the end of the day, just because I might be a fan of what you do, doesn't mean I can't necessarily critique.
No, that's fine. I mean,
I agree.
I just feel like people always need a reason to complain because ain't nobody out here producing any type of movie like Tyler Perry. Like nobody can even produce a movie, first of all, or even write a script from what I know that's here right now. So I just feel like, what are people really complaining about? Like, if you don't like his content, then just don't watch it.
I agree with you, and I don't watch it. But let me say this: it was like I see the vision. I think that Tyler Perry could have much, because like I would be in his audience if he just scaled up his quality a little bit. I see
It is not for you.
And I know, but I also think that he, like, I think that he's doing amazing things for the culture. And so my thing is, it's kind of disheartening to see.
Absolutely.
That's just how I feel. I just feel like we can go to the next level.
You said disheartening to see?
Because it's so cheap. And it don't have to be cheap. That man.
It is. You know, he got some bad wigs. You know, he needs some help in that arena. I will say that, but I still
I would say, look. At the end of the day, I don't want this to go out make it seem as if like Tyler Perry isn't appreciated. I appreciate the work he's putting in out there, the opportunities he's given, you know, young aspiring actors. You know, he's giving them their first opportunity or whatever. I'm appreciating the work that he's doing. So I don't want it to say, yo, you know what? We're shitting on him. It's just a conversation where it's like everything that you might do as far as an artistic form, it's not like everybody is gonna agree with everything that you do. That's what I'm saying.
And I would add to that, like if it was me, I would honestly want this feedback and this critique. Like if you saw that my art could really go to a different level, and hey, I mean, and this is not in the cards for Tyler Perry, but I'm saying, like, okay, if I could get me some Oscar nominations and Emmy nominations as a result of me just taking a couple more classes and just going to a different level, I would want that feedback as an artist.
That's true, but maybe
I don't need white people's.
Maybe this is his best. Like I just feel like not everybody's capable of growing to other heights, and maybe this is it for him. And maybe he's content with that.
I don't need white people appreciation.
How would
I don't
he know
need
he
their
can't go to different heights if he don't try?
Well, maybe I might want a BET award. How about that? Like, it don't have to be
He
for the
gonna
white
get
people.
that. He gonna get that. I guarantee. He'll get that.
Yeah, he's gonna get an achievement award or whatever from BET. He's gonna get that.
Yeah,
he's definitely gonna get that.
Well, maybe I might want to be in a film festival. How about that? Like, I think that, you know, All things considered, I'm a snob when it comes to art. So
I'm
I just
agreeing
have
with
like
it.
a high
Maybe the notoriety, honestly, maybe that level of notoriety may not be important to him. Listen, the man has billions of dollars. Like, he's good. Like,
clear.
he's set. So maybe all of that notoriety, that, like, maybe this is the only level of fame that he really needs. Remember, this man came from nothing. Nothing. So to be where he's at now, this is enough. This may be enough for him. And everybody's pushing him to grow to another height, but maybe he surpassed the heights that he already set for himself.
And I value continual growth. That is one of my personal values. And so it's just a misalignment of values. And that's okay. That don't make that man wrong. He's a genius in his own way. But he's
still young.
I think
he's still young as well. He's not, he has a lot of time to grow.
He does.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
All that man may want to do is just continue putting out his low budget films, and he is fine with that. That's it. Maybe that is just his end goal.
For real, like, I think he's still in his early 50s, if that.
Yeah,
Something
50s.
like that.
Let me Google it.
Yeah,
he's probably,
I don't know. I just feel like this man came from nothing, and this is a big something for him. And look at all the people that he's helping out along the way. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible.
He's 51.
It's incredible.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. It's incredible.
That's a fact. It's just at the same time, it's just like, look, just because I respect what you do, I applaud what you do. Hey, some things you do, it's like, hey, I'm gonna say, you know what? I don't agree with that. That shouldn't be wrong.
I don't know, right? I just feel like on the outside, it's easy for people to say that because it's like, can you do better? Real talk. I mean, I'm not trying to.
I could though. I guarantee
can
you.
you do better right now? Can you do better at what he does?
Possibly,
okay.
but at this.
Okay, well, right.
Here's the thing.
You let me know when your
creator,
movie comes out.
Here's the thing. As a creator, I think a lot of people, and it could come from a people who are his immediate fan base who might encourage him to do the same things over and over again. Just like how you got people like, saying, Nas, yo, why don't you do another Illmatic? And it's like, yo, like, why do another Illmatic? You know what I mean? But you got people who want you to do the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, you got people where it's like, yo, show growth, do something different. But you got a lot, like I said, and he might be catering to those people who, it could be like out of 100 people, maybe 78, 79, 80 people keep saying, do that movie over and over again. And he might be catering to those people.
But here's the thing. Why do what other people say? Listen, I just feel like if this is the type of content that makes this man happy and he has no interest in doing other stuff outside of comedy and this type of stuff, then let him be. Maybe other stuff don't make him happy.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it works for him. Don't let me say otherwise, because he got more money than I will probably ever have.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm not necessarily ishing on him. I'm just saying
I'm saying my opinion. I think that my opinion is still valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
that's true. Listen,
you're gonna listen to your fans because you're doing it for them.
I feel like everyone's opinion is valuable, but at the end of the day, it is his art. He gets to choose what makes him happy. He has a huge following and fan base, and will continue to have a huge following and fan base. And that's what's making him the money that he has to this day. And that's that. I don't think that he should just do other things because that's what the fans want. Like, what the fans say is important, yes, but also what he wants is important. That's just how I see it. Like, if that's like us growing up, right? You know, our parents always tell us, become a doctor, become a lawyer, because these are like careers that they know will set us straight with a certain amount of money. They're trying to help us out, or they think they're helping us out by telling us to do this and do that. But that may not be what we want to do. Their intentions
but that's why
right.
It's like, but see, even with the argument you're making, and some parents would be like, try to help them identify with what it is that you want to do going forward, as opposed to prototypical type of, careers like doctors, lawyers, police, firefighters, or whatever. Those are the prototypical type of careers because that's what we know of, because that's what's actually in the forefront. But how much parents you don't have a lot of parents telling their kids, you know what, try to be a scientist, an astronaut, whatever the case is. You don't hear too much parents say that. Like you said, they'll say doctor, lawyer, teacher, firefighter, policeman, because those are the first set of careers that's put out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what
But
you're
the
gonna.
point, what
That's
I'm
what you
saying though,
immediately
is that
identify
they're
with.
telling us to do something that we may not enjoy doing.
Right.
So that's the point I'm trying to get
Right.
at. Like Tyler Perry, yeah, he could probably do other stuff, but maybe he really doesn't like writing about other stuff. Maybe he just don't like it.
And I agree with you. I think that at the end of the day, he has to go to sleep at night and he has to
Exactly
feel comfortable with what he's doing. So great.
Well,
I'm just saying,
I'll
I
say
think it's
this.
the best. But if it worked for him, it worked for him. I'm not.
I'll say this as the only writer here.
You don't know what I do.
Oh, are you a writer?
Tiffany.
Yes. I
Oh,
told you I'm a
all right.
published writer. Like I said, you don't.
Oh snap. Okay.
Hold up. Wait.
Wait.
Hold up.
What?
Okay. Tiffany, what's up? That's what's up. You do your thing.
Nope, you about to
do that.
downplay me. I can tell
No,
it.
No. That's not what I'm gonna do. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. I applaud the fact that you had to put him in his place to say you ain't the only published writer, because I know my man or whatever got his book on on I was supposed to say Amsterdam, on Amazon or whatever. Everybody go check that out. Was it Calvary?
Passage to Calvary.
Yeah.
Wait. I know what you're gonna say, but before you say that, I want to say, well, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to tell people what you've written. How can they check it out?
I ain't trying to promote it right now. I'm just telling you. It's
Right. I was just gonna, but I'm just saying, just because I didn't publish anything, don't mean that I ain't a writer. That's what I was gonna say.
Who else is the writer here besides Tiffany and myself?
What constitutes a writer? Because what if I'm actually trying to write? If I'm actually trying to
go off topic right now.
Okay, you're right. You know what? Let me not even say nothing.
But no, Ryan, I'm with you.
Finish.
He can't tell you what you are. He
No.
define you for you.
No,
You got to define yourself for yourself, Ryan.
Go ahead.
you're right. You're right about that, right? But we're talking about in relation to Tyler Perry, right? He's a professional writer. He writes content
To the market so he can make money, employ, etc. Right?
Mhm.
So I'm talking more about people who are doing this as a career, who actually make money, revenue from their writings, right?
Mhm.
That's why I said it. I'm framing it in that way. I
Okay.
rather if I didn't. So I'm saying, as a person who's a writer who actually makes money from my writing, right? I feel like sometimes, to Sharon's point, maybe you have a lane. Maybe that's your lane.
Need to stay in their lane.
You feel comfortable writing. Maybe you have a fan base in that lane. Maybe that's all you.
And he does, clearly. That's why he's successful.
I don't think that, like, I understand there's going to be criticism, like, you should do this, you should do that, you should blah, 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 right? You should grow this way, that way, right? But sometimes as a writer, if that's your comfort space, like Stephen King, he writes horror and, like, thriller type
You
stories.
won't catch him writing comedy.
But he does it well, though. It's high quality.
Compared
So
to
that's the
some people,
difference.
no, wait. Some people think Stephen King is garbage.
Okay, that's true.
It's subjective because it's art. It's subjective. So if you feel comfortable writing what you write, somebody might be like, yo, that dude is garbage. But it's like, okay, I got a fan base. I'm making money from this. This is my lane. Like, you are entitled to your opinion, but really at the end of the day, how we feel, it's really not going to dictate how Tyler Perry moves. He going to do what he do.
That man don't care. That man does whatever he wants to do with his bag wigs, his low production costs. He don't care.
Push come to shove, this video go out and he sees it. He ain't gonna give a damn either way.
He really don't, because what he's doing is working. Look at what this man has been able to buy and create for the community.
For me, it's not about Tyler Perry, though, at the end of the day. For me, I think that he's just one example of, like, you shouldn't limit yourself and start
growing. Laughing.
I think it's bigger than him. For me, it worked for Tyler Perry. He getting his money. But I just think, like, to me as a viewer, when I had, like, the few movies that I have seen, Acrimony, for example, do you know that I feel like you are insulting my intelligence, and there's a fixed green screen and they're walking and nothing about the background is changing whatsoever? As a viewer, I feel like my intelligence is insulted in that moment.
Wait, which movie was that? You said you saw
Acrimony.
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 That was his movie?
And how did she get on the boat?
Oh, yes. acrimony.
How did she end up on that boat, y'all?
I didn't see that movie.
Right. So it's like it's an insult to my intelligence because it doesn't even make sense at this point. So that's why I take an issue.
I guess I'm not that
the one
into
thing I
those
agree
movies,
about
though, but
that
I
is the
didn't
fact
read that part. Honestly.
You know, the one thing I agree about that is, we're in a different time where everybody focus on the detail. So if it was like maybe 25 years ago or something where that movie came out, then it wouldn't have been that much of a big deal. But the fact that it's now, yeah, certain things like that you can't do. Like, I remember, it's almost like, yo, B, I know when you like watch boxing, I don't know if you do it, but I know I do. Like, if you watch boxing and you know where they give you that center look where you can see the crowd while you're watching a fight, you look to see who's in the front row.
Yeah.
Everybody does that now to see who's actually at the fight. Where once upon a time, where everybody was just focused on the fight. Now they give you that view as you're watching the fight to see who's in the front row. You know what I'm saying? Just to see, who's actually enjoying the fight with you. And I think in a way, that's the way how a lot of people, when they're watching movies nowadays, that's how they're looking at it. Where it's like, okay, you as a producer, you as the director, you're trying to capture the actual moment and the detail. But it's like when we see the inconsistencies, it's like we call you out on that. Like, hold up. How the hell did you just, act like we wasn't going to see that?
It's true. True.
All right. So, I mean.
But when he say it is true.
What? What?
Go ahead.
No.
Oh.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to promote themselves because you just made me think about that. So what you got going on, Miss Johnson?
I have some things in the works. And I don't know if I want to promote them at this very time, but I thank you for the forum. I want to be a little bit more.
You were just on the news. What do you mean?
What?
You don't want to promote it? It's on the news.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is something that I personally have to work on. Put myself out there. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this opportunity. So right now I'm working on an initiative through the Ground Up Project, and we are raising money for a rehabilitation project in LaSalle Gardens in Detroit, Michigan. And so we are going to be renovating a building, and the top will be apartments for apprentices, and the bottom will be a barbershop and a takeout restaurant, and then the back will be a community center and offices. And we're currently raising money for that. As of this week, we raised $6,000. And so I'm creating all of the training and all the programs to make sure that our apprentices are able to not just excel in the program, but to thrive in life and to just have optimal lives where they can be engaging in continual growth. So if you are interested in that, you can go to black.co/ground up project, and that is BLAC.co/ground up.
See, now why didn't you want to promote that? That's a beautiful thing.
That's a
Thank
fact.
you.
It is.
That's
Come
a
on.
fact. That's a fact.
That's come on, man.
You're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
shy
act like
about
DMX
your
in
work or
here.
whatever.
You supposed to
Like,
promote
you want
that.
it to be out there,
That's
but
a
then you
personal
don't
flaw.
want it to be out there.
I gotta work on it.
Listen, I have the same problem. Don't worry. You're not alone, sis.
Okay, Miss Sharon.
Yes. So my name is Sharon. I am a registered nurse by my daytime career, but I am also a multipreneur. I have two businesses because I believe in wealth coming from different avenues. So my first business is an interior design business. It's called Sharon Oliver Design. And my second business is called Eclectic Soul Organics. I have on the shirts so you guys can see today. You can follow my IG handle for Eclectic Soul Organics at eclectic_soul_organics_. I guess Martel maybe will put that up. So pretty much Eclectic Soul Organics is a natural company where I sell organic products, from skincare products to spiritual products as well. Everything that I sell is handmade, handcrafted, right at home, using 100% natural ingredients, because I believe that Mother Nature and our surroundings and earth can heal us on the inside and out. So everything I sell is based around that. So you can check out the website, www.eclecticsoulorganics.com. And there is a discount code. I forgot what it was. I think it was, what was it? So Zoom. So could we set it on the last call, but I can't remember.
I think it was Zoom Martel.
Black something?
It was, I believe it was Zoom Martel. But anyway, Martel will add it afterwards. But you'll get 10% off if you use that discount code.
Hey, you are not the program director. Can't tell me what to do.
My bad. I'm just trying to help out the audience so they can see it. Visuals. Visuals.
And this is me and Ryan's damn show. So that's, you know what I mean? I don't know what you got going on, bro, but this is our show, right? We ain't got to.
Yeah, that's a fact. Right now, whatever you already know, between me and Martel, we got this podcast that we starting up called Smushed Sandwich. Let's talk. You know, we talking about various different topics. You know, for me, I like to just get, you know, the finer points from, you know, whatever guests we might be having on, you know, to get their take and also to piss them off. That's my role here in this, you know, podcast, is to piss people off. But at the same time, it's to just, you know, this podcast is really platformed to just get people talking about, you know, things that we need to get off our chest. As Black people, as individuals, there's a lot of stuff that we hold on to that we really need to discuss and talk about, because we carry ourselves out into the world with a lot of burden on our shoulders, and we don't really have a chance to express our frustrations or just what we're feeling in life. So that's really what we're, you know, with this podcast, well, where it's platformed and what we catering to is for everyone to, if we have guests, if you do even want to welcome yourself to come on to talk about various different topics, something personal, something recreational, but just be able to just get it off. So where once we, you know, conclude, you can go back out and you don't have to feel that, you know, burden on your shoulders further. So that's my contribution to the world. That's really what we're, you know, where our demographic is. So there's no height, color, there's no one really exempt from anything that we can, you know, we can talk about. Only thing I just want to express is the fact that, hey, we're gonna have fun on here, but you can't really, well, I can't say you can't. There's gonna be some people that's gonna feel a particular way about it. But hey, that's just kind of what it's here for. So
well said, my brother. Well said. Well said. All you people are beautiful.
I appreciate all you people. Black people out here doing big things in the world. Look, I see you with your t-shirt, promotion and marketing.
Yep.
Yeah.
This platform is for individuals like, you know, yourself, Sharon, also Tiffany, where we like to put light on people, our people. That's, you know, whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing, something positive, your business, we can promote it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter how big, how small, we would definitely put it on here to show light on your contribution, whatever you're doing as a business, whatever you're doing to help the world in whatever way. We're using this platform to put it out there to, you know, not only as a means for you to benefit, but just to bless the world. So,
Yes, sir.
I thank you for allowing us to use this platform. No, I think that's important because I feel like, you know, these platforms are needed because there's so many people that's doing so many great things that the world just really doesn't know about, you know. So I thank you guys for putting out this platform and allowing me and Tiffany to share our businesses.
Yep.
Definitely. So when our podcast skyrockets, y'all are the first guests on this platform to where we can say you guys are the reason as to what helped, you know, shoot this through. So I don't want y'all to act, you know, brand new when y'all, you know, when y'all careers go through the roof, y'all acting as if like
we don't know nobody.
Yeah, you don't know anybody, because I'm gonna just show footage of how y'all were before y'all success really skyrocketed. So it is what it is.
I appreciate it, Brian. And I think that what he just said is a great reminder that the beauty of a space like this is like, not just are we celebrating our quote unquote Black excellence, and I think Black is inherently excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say we are we're cultivating joy and having some fun, and especially in the midst of everything that's happening in the world. Like, people love to showcase Black brutality and Black violence and all of the things that are marketable, but are also in like negative, shine a negative light. So it's a pleasure to just be able to spend this time in community and connection and have a little fun. You know, we don't have to agree on everything. We're not a monolith, but we can always disagree with love and with joy. So
Facts.
That's big facts. Big facts.
Facts on facts on facts.
So I don't know what y'all want to do.
Like, you need that energy. Y'all need that balance.
It's just nice. It's just nice for the viewers to have the female, perspective. So I mean, yeah, but Montel, you already know we work when we have just the male testosterone going in the video alone. It's just what it is.
I can't wait to the Android revolution.
You already know.
To the what?
And we all have Android wives.
Martel, don't even get started with that topic, please.
Because what I'm gonna love is when you marry an Android and they take your ass for all you got.
Wow.
What the
Could you imagine that?
Wow. That's you gonna take. What, use up all of my energy or whatever the case. I gotta keep plugging that in.
Wow.
You know that case came out. I actually sent Martel that article. Somebody, what was it, in Cali or something like that, married a droid. Some actor or somebody married a
he sent me that
droid.
link too. He sent me
It's
that
happening.
link.
It's happening.
That is so disturbing. Let's not even go to that topic.
I think that's what we go. Yo, I think we touched base on that. I think we touched base on that on the first conversation.
Maybe Martel's gonna marry a droid. I mean, I don't know.
I think we touched base on that on the first conversation. We gonna expound on that on the next episode, yo, for real. We gonna expound on that.
No, either. Maybe that's why he's going hard for that topic.
Y'all let me know when y'all done with that, and then I'll join the conversation, because I'm.
I can say with confidence that I will not marry an android. I can say that.
You just need to go real hard for that droid, boy.
All right, so let me wrap this up. Let me do the outro.
What's that?
What up, Chris?
What's up?
Say what up. What up?
What up?
That's not Chris.
What's up?
Oh, he's so cute.
Don't be shy.
Is that a Super Mario outfit? I love that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're gonna be on one of these episodes one day.
That's Chris?
Yeah.
Yo. Wow.
Yeah, time is wild. Don't worry about it. Yeah, time is crazy.
Wow.
Time is crazy. There's nothing really you can do about it.
You don't know how your friends' kids look?
Yo.
No. It's I think the last time he actually seen him, he had braids.
Oh.
And he was a little bit shorter. So
A lot bit shorter.
All right, my phone is about to die. I'm sorry, but if we
All right,
gonna do
I'm about to wrap this up.
let's
Let's wrap this up. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right, so thank everybody for being here. We appreciate you talking about your platforms and what you're doing in the world and sharing your opinion. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, share this video. We appreciate you watching. We love y'all for watching. And be sure to watch the next episode. Again, thank everybody for being here. Appreciate y'all.
Now get the hell out.